we go. Hey, everybody! turn the volume off on your phone, Dan.
Oops.
Nope.
Thought I did. All right, go ahead.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, hey, everybody, welcome back to another first-time reader chat stream. We are plowing through these books, and it's been a great adventure so far, and you guys have been helping out a lot in the chats and in the Discords. We are on chapters 14 and 15, and these are big chapters, right, Dan?
Oh, they're awesome. We got through all the minutia. We got through all the introductions, the little pastoral existence of the two rivers, and now we are cooking like Malkiar Talks does on his website. We are cooking. And so yeah, these two chapters are we meet some pretty cool people, but let's bring in our first time reader, Ryan. You guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring him in and then I'll tell my funny joke. Go for it, Dan.
Okay. Yeah, he needs to laugh too. And he can't hear us right now. So guys, you know him, you love him. He's a friend of ours. He's a friend of yours now. He's a friend of the world. He is in a band called It Looks Like a Black Hole. That's all one word and all lowercase letters. Guys, in your homes, quietly applaud for our first time reader named Todd.
And there we go. We already got a yay, Todd.
Toddrick.
Gentlemen.
Top of the morning to you.
It's good to see you guys.
It's good to be seen by you, Todd. And likewise, you look good as ever.
Did you just say it's good to be seen by you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great turn of phrase. Thanks. It is good to be seen by you. It's good to be seen by everybody. I take pride in my looks. I'm working out regularly. You can see you can see how much I'm lifting. This is the bar I lift.
Your hands used to look like mine. Now they're all buff and Arnold Schwarzenegger hands. That's pretty impressive.
Ooh, your neck, man. Your neck's getting pretty buff too. It looks like
I got blacksmith hands.
I think the question that everyone has on the edge of their lips right now is, Todd, what shirt are you wearing? I blew him away.
Okay, we lost you. Try that again, buddy.
Yeah, let's do that again. What kind of shirt you're wearing, bud?
That's high on fire.
The rush of the 2000s. Rush meets a really fast train.
A very loud, fast train.
Yeah.
I wanted to say if we were a Malkiar Talks dish, what would we be, Dan?
I would love to be a honey cake. Look at that. I'm a honey cake, baby.
You're just straight honey cake.
Look at these well-turned calves. That I walk by and people whistle and go, honey cake.
I better be glazed. Somehow I want to be glazed.
I think you're a fine hearty stew, Ryan.
Yes.
Maybe Malkiar Talks can give us his take on this. What dish do we represent?
I would love it if Todd is the lamb with the honey glazed apples that Malk had just done on his last one. Oh my gosh, it looked great. That glaze was fantastic. I'm appointing you as the honey glaze apple, Todd.
Beautiful. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
Or Todd is the stuffed pig and I'm in the apple in his mouth.
There you go.
Oh, is that it? Todd, you read these chapters, I assume, right? You read chapters 14 and 15?
I did not. No. Yes, I did. Of course. Wait, I thought we were doing 12 and 13. No, just kidding.
Oh, again.
No, yes. I am blown away by these 2 chapters. Huge dumps of information just everywhere.
Well, let's get into it. Let's
get into it, man.
This first chapter, chapter 14, is called The Stag and Lion. It looks like we have that teardrop shaped thing that we had seen in prior chapters. So Rand is in the inn. Tell me what your impressions of Baerlon and this inn, and give me your impressions of this first bit of the chapter.
Yeah, they're soaking up the city, just getting their surroundings. They're getting, little bits of information about what's happening.
Right. As soon as they get there, Land's like, all right, I'm going to go find out what I can find out, and just goes right into the common room. Who knows how he gets his information, but he goes out into the common room to kind of see what he can scope out.
Do you think he instantly becomes like a really personable guy? he just like goes, "Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, you want a drink? Hey!" Just all of a sudden, this side of him comes out.
He's got a city cloak. He's got a city cloak on. Yeah.
Or did he just stare at people and then they just finally were like, just give him the information just because he keeps staring intently at their faces?
Can I buy you a drink? How do you say no? You go, yeah, please. So, we learned that they get in. The inn is super crowded. There's all these people from the hills, these minor folk that were stuck in the hills, I guess, over winter, and are now inundating the city, according to the innkeeper. Again, they're known as Lady Alice and Master Andra. They kind of comment. This is the first time that we notice that someone mentions that Rand has a funny accent.
Oh yes,
yeah.
The innkeeper Ara.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, that's not. It's not the innkeeper. That's the like the helper. Yeah.
It's the ladies who kind of wash your bum, right? Don't they come in and just wash your bum? I feel like that's what they do. And they denied it. They said, no, please. But if they didn't shoo them away, I think they would have been washing bums.
Well, Master Fitch does have an all service. He has kind of a resort. I mean, it's like spa.
It's serious, yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he had some bum washers in there.
You think of more than bums?
Definitely.
Are we talking more than bum? More than bums?
All right, so we move on.
Oh, dear. Happy endings. Oh no.
We have to change the end name.
Wow.
Moving right along.
Okay, so they
we just digress.
They go and they instantly get sweet baths. There's an awesome bathhouse that, in fact, parents like, oh yeah, this is just like the Wine Spring Inn. Totally facetiously, Tom snorts. Someone says, we got a Copland with us. Hey guys, look at this joker. This bathhouse is fantastic. They go in and just seep in. Tom acts all regal. He's like, that'll do, my man. I will make sure that you are paid well for your services. And it just only his eyes and nose are shown. Yeah.
It sinks down to like his mustache. Yeah.
Just a mustache. Yeah.
There is one thing I want to point out that, and this is, I want to ask you about this actually, Todd. So, so the bath servant, Ara, starts asking about if there's trouble down country. And he goes, "Oh, you guys having trouble too?" And Rand kind of does like this turn of phrase, and he goes, "What do you mean too? You guys have trouble here?" And so there was a weird reaction. It says Perrin, enjoying his soak, murmured, "Good." Tom raised himself up a little bit and opened his eyes. I don't know if Perrin was reacting to what Rand was asking, or if Perrin was just, oh God, this bath is so good.
Yeah, Calgon is taking him away. He's like, yes.
So is that what you think? You think that he was just reacting to the bath, or was it because it is right after when Rand and Tom seems to take a little notice as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I was just thinking about what Matt, he kind of almost spills the beans a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking about Perrin. I didn't pick up on that part, but he almost kind of spills the beans, but I guess they all stop him.
Right. And everyone is on the same page but Matt.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty cleverly done. I like how everyone's all, no, you don't tell it right. You're just telling his stories. Oh, yeah, and you always add all this crazy stuff. And Matt's like, what? No, I haven't told this at all. I'm just going to tell about the truck. And they're like, oh, God, you're such a kidder. And then Land comes in called, this is what I waited for. And in other contexts, having these farm children in baths, that's not what they generally want to hear when a man enters the bathhouse. But
they're 20. They're 20. They are 20. No, I was thinking about this. So we got 20. This is going to be a great scene in the movie. This is going to be a make it or break it scene. This is everything's going to be
look at.
Yeah.
I can feel it. No.
But but imagine that like being played on like a hammered dulcimer.
Nice.
We don't know if these bats are just divided by gender or if they are co-gender. Moraine later walks in with someone who we later learn is Min. And they just kind of walk in, and Maureen's just a chatty Cathy while Min's just kind of checking them out, and then they leave. So I don't know if that broke decorum for her to enter the men's bathroom or if it's just unisex and anyone can come in.
Interesting. I didn't know they came into the baths. Okay.
Yeah. So Land comes in. Land listens at the door and is like, "Don't talk about Trollocs. Don't even think about Trollocs. Don't." And then Perrin's like, "Yeah, but there were Trollocs," and Land like chucks his bucket across the room. He's like, "God, fine. If you're gonna talk about it, yeah, there's always Trollocs in the Borderlands, you dummy."
Yeah.
So no, blacksmith.
Oh, blacksmith. Right.
Yeah. So Maureen comes in with Min. Min is a woman with short cropped hair, wearing what's described as boys' breeches or men's breeches. Apparently, her dress is gender-wise is much different than what Rand and the rest of the people are generally used to seeing in Barillon and in the Two Rivers.
Dan, real quick, I got to put brakes on real fast and let us know that we're getting a correction. Dana Lou's saying there were not women in the baths. I think they might have. They met in the hallway or something.
Oh, yeah, when they left the bath chamber. Okay.
Thank you, Dana Lou.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate corrections.
And we also need to go back and reiterate that this is going to be naked time. This bath scene is going to be, we got a lot of butts. Butt screen time. We love it. First butts on screen. We hope. We don't know if it's going to be the first butts. It might be the first butts. We assume it to be the first butts. We don't know.
Here's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing the edge of the bathtub, hot steam going, and you just see stepping in a very, very well turned calf.
Chiseled.
Yeah, and that's all you get, people. That's all you get.
Are they gonna have a calf turn off? just like a manly, like everyone's flexing their calves and makes you see who's turning them more weller than the other turner.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see Tom. Are they going to show Tom in his birthday suit?
I hope so. I hope so. He deserves to. We shouldn't be ageist. Come on.
If there were tattoos in this world, I imagine Tom has many of them. And you don't see him until all of a sudden he takes his clothes off and you're like, whoa, he's fully tatted.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like thug life follows his stomach. And some you're like, oh, wow, Tom, you're kind of badass.
Do you remember those weird Do you remember those weird mustache shirts that were coming out? Like everyone would just have like 100 mustaches on a shirt or a tie or something. I think he just has mustaches tattooed all over his
Oh, that's a hot take. People, this is Ryan Puppet.
You heard it right here.
Right here. So Master Fitch is the man. Master Fitch is just hooking him up big time. He's like, all right, we got you a private dining room because you don't want to be out with them bustly, hustly people out there. Half of them are miners, and you don't want to hang out with the miners from the hills. You know, I got you your own private dining room. Don't worry about it. And we get a meal here: chickens, some turnips, and hen peas with a little cheese for after. I'm not entirely sure what a hen pea is, but I'm sure it is delicious. I've heard of a chickpea. Maybe it's just like a big chickpea, like a grown-up chickpea turns into hen pea. Thank you.
That sounds about right.
I'm not going to get a laugh track, Dan.
Oh, no.
You keep asking me. I'm not going to get a smoke machine or a laugh track, Dan. We just got to go out natural. We don't have the budget for it. Go on.
No, we'll get Patreon, baby. We'll get it going. All right. So they sit and they eat. As soon as they leave, they're like, okay, bye. Closes. Land instantly to the door.
Yes.
Listening for 30 seconds. He's like, all right, we can talk freely now and stuff. They're like, you don't even trust this innkeeper? And Land's all, I don't trust anyone. And when we get to TAVERN, I'll trust maybe half. Rand's like, huh? Yep. Oh, you're not laughing. Okay, that's weird. But Moraine calls Master Finch good man, honest and trustworthy, but says he's kind of got a big mouth, and so they just kind of got to, be cool with things. But he hates white cloaks, and that's fine by them, I guess. They ask Lan what he learned in the common room. Not much, except that Logain. Logain, it seems like won the battle in Galdon, and is off to Tyr, I guess. But it says that he won. There's no word about what happened to the Aes Sedai. They may have died. They may have turned to him. They may have all been free. Who knows? But Lan's pretty smart to recognize none of this stuff is absolute truth either. He's like, well, he just gathers sources and then says, okay, this is what I've learned. And he just kind of makes his own choices based on all this narration stuff that he hears going on, I guess. Egwene is still mad at Rand. Big shocker. He tried to apologize, but she didn't want to talk to him. So phooey. I guess it happens. So what are your thoughts so far as we're going into...
Well, I got a very specific question, actually. Let's check this one out. I'm going to pop it in the chat. And then let's pop it into the screen. So this is a question from Discord. What do you think of the way that Rand, Mat, and Perrin obeyed instructions from Moraine and Lan when they were bathing?
Yeah, I think they're really, especially Rand, he's really kind of just taken on this mindset, and he's really just able to hide their true identities and the intentions of the group. Perrin, I don't know. Yeah, Matt kind of like fell through a little bit, but I think that just shows Rand's I don't know. He just has these like innate powers in him, special ops ninja powers. He's able to just really fall in line and do the right thing to protect the group. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Did you? I guess we'll talk about Min when she comes up a little bit later on. But did you have any first impressions when you saw this woman?
I didn't.
Okay.
I thought she sounded kind of like an indie rocker hipster.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I could totally see her.
Right.
But, and I didn't. Yeah, I was just like, okay, she might come up later, which she does.
Yeah, and
Vaguely.
it was very specific that Rand was not sure if it was a girl or a boy, and I like that. I like that a lot.
Totally.
Well,
So
and also Moraine, as soon as they enter the inn, she pretty much says, "Hey, Master Fitch, is Midden still here?" And then Land goes off and she goes off. So that's kind of the first thing she does when she gets there is she wants to talk to Min.
Totally.
So, and then Rand pretty much just goes. He's tired, man, and I feel good for these guys because they, for the first time in a while, they had a nice hot bath. They had a good meal. They had someone that seemed happy to see him. And Rand, although he wants to go out and see the city, is beat and ends up falling asleep. And
wait, before we go into that, though, I wanted to bring up something.
Please.
It goes back to Lan, and I guess to Rand and Matt and Perrin's like obedience to like Lan and Moraine, because Lan kind of like insinuates, kind of threatens, them, if any harm comes to Moraine, I'm gonna take you guys out or something. There's a part, right before that, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, that was threat number 2 from these guys. Like, first we have Moraine saying, if I will not let the Dark One take you, I will destroy you myself. And now, and very specifically, it is, if you bring harm to her, not me, to her. What do you think? What were you thinking when you heard him say that, or you read him say that?
It just made me think about how the warders are intertwined with the Aes Sedai, and they have this bond, and his bond is like serious with her. He's like, he means biz, man. It's like, don't bring any harm to her. Like, so it's very serious, their connection.
Yeah. Well, and it also shows how just how like dangerous words can be. I mean, Matt was going to just start talking about Trollocs. Perrin was still insisting about talking about Trollocs, and he's like, y'all don't get it. Yeah, if this brings any harm to her, ... and then everyone just bathes in silence and
party's over.
Yeah, it's like dun 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 dun.
So I want to go back even further. There's a comment from our new friend Redeema. She said, Edmund Fielders, their perspective is, wow, what a big city, and she gives us some 2 eyeballs. And I wanted to go back and touch upon that, and I want to ask you, Todd. So we got these people who've never seen a city before. Can you think of something in your life that that allows you to relate to that feeling? And like, do you have any experiences that you could relate to when you're trying to imagine what these guys are feeling?
Oh, definitely. Like the first time I went to downtown San Francisco, or the financial district, looking up at the huge tall buildings, just immense and enormous, just in awe and like kind of blown away.
Yeah, I remember for me, when I was thinking about this question, for me, it was just, I think, my first time going to Disneyland.
I was thinking the same thing when you asked that question. That was my thought too. But I certainly do have a San Francisco moment. It's when you're driving on one of the 80 freeways. I don't know, 680, 880, 80.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. And you go over a hill, and suddenly it's like the city is laid out all right below you. You see the bridge, you just see everything, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's just tucked away right over this little hill that we just went over. Suddenly it's this awesome city. Yeah, San Francisco is a neat looking place. It's a neat place, but it's a neat looking place too.
Indeed. Agreed.
All right, anything else before we get into this crazy dream?
Let's dive into it.
No, I think we got. Let me look at my questions real quick. Let me make sure. Yes. This is actually a very good question. I'm going to pop this into our chat. Make sure my mouth is still moving.
It is. You're doing great.
Thank you. As I'm doing this, I want to remind everyone that at the halfway point, we're going to take a 10-minute break. I got some special music for everyone. It's going to be, I'll explain when we get there. But yeah, here's the question. The false dragon Logain seems to be gaining power and success. What do you think will happen with him in the story?
Ooh, yes.
Good question. I don't know what's going to happen. They're definitely going to, this group, I think, is going to run into him or have some interaction with his forces or the people of the dragon. I think that he leads. And I can't wait to see, though, if he's, I mean, I don't want to jump ahead, but they're going to talk about, what happens to false dragons.
Yeah, I mean, you could jump ahead within the 2 chapters. Yeah, I mean, we're
right. Right. He does get mentioned in the dream as someone that is being controlled per se. Yeah, by Bahal Zaman. I shouldn't have said it. I should ask you.
Yes, you should have. I wanted to.
That's totally how I say it. No.
Bahal Zaman.
All right, so let's jump into this dream. Iran drifts off, and suddenly he knows that he is not anywhere, and he seems to have a bit of memory about an inn, right? And then he's like, "Wait, what was that about an inn?" And then poof, it was gone. So he has that when he first gets in there, and he's super, super, super thirsty.
Yeah, he's always licking his lips.
Right, and he says that, and he keeps hearing the plunk, plunk. Wait.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
That should be like 10 subscribers right there. Keep going.
All right, the talents of me. I know the wonders.
The gleeman.
All right, so
amongst us.
We pay a lot of money for those effects. I hope you guys are supporting our Patreon because we pay a lot of money for those special effects.
And yet we can't get a smoke machine and a laugh track.
Working on it.
Good callback.
Thank you. All right, so he's hearing this water, this plunk, 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 and decides to follow the water. He's going down a hallway. The hallway seems to never end. There's doors on all sides. Finally, he decides to open the door. Door opens easily, and he enters this room. What was your impression? Let's go right into the room. So he goes in, and it's a room that has a fireplace. Beforehand, I guess. Oh no, that's right. He in the room. There's a balcony, and the sky is just this hallucinogenic, trippy sky. That says no one could have ever seen a sky like that. It could not exist.
An impossible sky. Yeah.
An impossible sky. Yep.
The room itself was at peculiar angles, and melted stone-looking things seemed to grow out of the gray floor. It says. One of the creepier things is this fireplace. There's a hearth that the flames roared but gave no heat. And I will quote here, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Quote, "Strange oval stones made the fireplace. They just looked like stones, wet slick despite the fire, when he looked straight at them. But when he glimpsed them from the corner of his eye, they seemed to be faces instead. The faces of men and women writhing in anguish, screaming silently." End quote.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Basically, I want to have a boss battle in this room. Just seriously, I want to be in an adventure game, and all of a sudden, I enter this room. There's a boss. It's on. Can't leave until one of us dies.
Whoa, intense.
I'll watch that. So, one of the other features of this room is a single mirror. It says it's hung on the wall, but when he looked at it, he only saw a blur where his reflection should have been. Everything else in the room was shown true, but not him. Do you have any feelings about that, or thoughts, or impressions?
Yeah, it definitely ties into how he's having these, I guess, memories that slip away, or he can't hold on to them. He thinks or he remembers something about a wisdom, I think, also telling him to, to realize that it's only a dream and that you could wake up out of it. And so I think he's having these deja vu moments. That's like a part of it, like from a past life.
So that's why everything else is clear but him in the mirror.
Totally.
Okay. Oh, hi. I'll just climb over. All right. All right. I can't get over. I tried. All right. So he turns around from the mirror and bam, there's a dude. There's a dude. He wasn't there before, but there's a dude. Todd,
handsome fellow.
Tell me about him, Todd.
Rand says that he's a handsome fellow, or ladies would find him handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Rand supposed women would have found him good looking.
Yeah, he is.
Come on, Rand, just man up and say.
I know, Rand.
He couldn't say it. Nope.
He's like, yeah, I guess chicks like him. I don't know. All right, go on. Sorry.
So Two Rivers.
Yeah, man.
So Two Rivers.
And they looked around to make sure no one's going to make fun of him. He's like, oh well, yeah, he's kind of good looking. Yeah, I guess he's kind of good looking.
He's like, not Baron here.
He has fire in his eyes and in his mouth. It looks like, right?
Yes, endless caverns of flame that go back. I guess they go on and off, which will be a crazy graphic in the show. Right.
And he says, once more we meet face to face.
Once more, yeah. Once more,
so?
Yeah. So,
what do you think's going on?
Well,
take us through your thoughts, Todd.
Todd, man, I don't know. I'm like Rand, man. I don't know what to believe is real.
Okay.
I don't know who to trust. Is this the Dark One? Is it not? I don't know. Yeah, and I think Rand is just gonna take him on word for word, or just take his word for everything. I don't know.
Let me ask.
Yeah, it's intense.
Let me ask you on a related note. This is the second dream that we've had detailed by Rand. Do you think that this is important? The dreams. What do you think is going on with dreams themselves? I guess is that a thing that we've seen it twice with Rand so far.
Yeah, it's definitely a power or some channel that whatever the Dark One, whoever this is, can enter into their minds. The dream wavelength is a place where this entity can, get to them, and which seems to be possessing them maybe, and just filling their head full of ideas and kind of confusing them. It's intense.
So
if you remind yourself about Moraine constantly talking to, one of the first things she even says to Rand is, Rand, how are your dreams?
Totally. Yeah.
So now we have this second one. What do you think Moraine is getting at, or what do you think that's all about? Do you think they're related?
Yeah, she knows. She's a badass Aes Sedai. She knows the Dark One uses dreams to get into the heads of would-be false dragons and whatnot. So she knows what's going on, and that's why she asked it.
Okay. Cool. All right. So So we meet
I
this guy.
got another question. Sorry.
Okay.
This is a question from Discord, and I do believe it's related. And I'm going to pop up the first part. Discord question. Do you believe this Balzamon character when he says that he has never been bound?
Oh, we haven't. We haven't gotten there yet. But okay, go on.
Nope.
Okay,
we're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. So he offers Rand some wine. He's like, "Hey, buddy, you thirsty? You look thirsty."
Oh yeah.
Fire in his eyes, fire in his mouth. And Rand's like, "Yeah, by the way, I am a little," and picks up the goblet, goes brings it up halfway, and then changes
nice aromas.
Yeah, he's smelling them all.
He's like, "Oh yeah."
But he's also getting a creepy vibe from the person in front of him. So he says, I'm not really thirsty.
Which is an awesome image. The imagery of that, where Rand looks at him, I guess, and his fingers are starting to smoke on the chair.
Right.
As he's waiting for him to drink the goblet. He's like, yes.
and he does seem disappointed. Rand picks up that he's disappointed. Although, how do you judge disappointment from fire eyes and fire mouth? I'm not sure. But he was like, okay. He's disappointed. What do you think would have happened if he had drink?
I think he probably would have become possessed, or Balzamon would be that much closer to taking control of him. Whatever the Dark One does to people.
So we do learn that he's Balzamon, and Rand instantly reacts as the Dark One.
Yes.
Balzamon starts asking him questions. He says, "Are you the one? Can't hide from me. So you may as well just tell me. I'm going to find out anyway. So, I'm working pretty hard here. Why don't you just tell me? Are you the one?" And Rand doesn't really understand what's going on. Here's one thing I wanted to quote again. Balzamon says, quote, "Are you expecting glory? Power? Yes. Did they tell you the eye of the world would serve you? What glory or power is there for a puppet?"
How do you guys feel about that question?
Well, thanks for asking, Todd. I remember when I was a kid.
Let's all get in the circles. Get in the circle, and we're going to tell the story. Yeah.
No, we got to move on. We're already the next chapter is so awesome too. We got to get to it. So let's get through it. But he mentions, "Would the eye of the world serve you?"
Yes.
Any thoughts?
I guess that's one of the first moments where someone brings up the eye of the world, and it just really makes it just seem like it is some a power, that you could harness and use, which is really intriguing.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Balzamon also kind of talks crap on his parents. Rand reacts. The flames laugh, it says, which is kind of cool. And here's where we hear the other names of the people that have been used. Davian, Urian Stonebow, Guara Amalsan, Rowlun Darkbane, and Logain is being used until there's nothing left of you. Those we what are your thoughts?
He really just dumps a bunch of info there. Just all these people from the past, I guess they're rulers that were possessed by him, and I guess he says that he was there for TAVERN, he told him to kill his kin.
Yeah. That's
about,
crazy because Rand says you're bound.
Archer. What's that?
Rand had said you're bound in Child Goal, and he's like, I'm not bound. I was there next to Luce. So that's where that question comes in now, right? Because he said he wasn't bound and brings up all these bad instances where he was there messing things up. Yes. Yeah. So what's that question now?
Here it comes.
There we go.
Do you believe this Balsamon character when he says that he has never been bound, that he was with Luce Theremin when he became the Kingslayer, and that he was there 100 years later to send Trollocs out to the Trollocs War?
That's where I don't know what is truth or what is lies. That's what's so awesome about the third person narrative. We're just kind of like, it's very interactive in the sense you're kind of wrapped up in Rand's thoughts. I don't know. Yeah. He could be true. There could be like small bits of truth in it. He could be, misleading, kind of just misconstruing some of the details. I don't know. It's fascinating.
So then,
job well done.
Yeah, we'll finish the dream. At the end of the dream, the goblet's gone. Baalzamon's like, you think you're safe in dreams though? Because Rand's like, you're just a dream. La 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 la. He's like, you ain't safe. And he a rat pops up, and he kind of just bends his hand, and the rat and his back snaps. Pretty gross.
Gave him the old Darth Vader.
Yeah,
let's admit it. That was the old Darth Vader.
Totally.
But then he starts to do the same thing to Rand. And says, will you ever wake up? And boom, Rand wakes up in a cold sweat. Lan and Tom are gone. He's been in the room for a while. His head totally hurts. He's like, maybe I should tell Moiraine about this. I don't know. But then he's like, are the dreams bad enough to talk to an Aes Sedai about this stuff?
And then also back to the dream, though.
Yes.
The Dark One says that, you don't want to tell the Aes Sedai this. Because, I guess he's talking about the Amyrlin Seat. It's like, once they know that I know, they'll kill you. Which is like, it totally plays into Rand's mistrust of the Aes Sedai already. I think he's picked up on that.
And he does mention, Baalzamon mentions the Amyrlin Seat a couple times. And in the dream that Rand had before was the White Tower. Everywhere he turned, the White Tower is in front of him.
Totally. Oh, right. It's watching him. Oh crap, that's cool.
So
yeah, it's super heavy. It's now, he's even more fearful of telling Moiraine about his dreams.
Right.
Totally, it's a chess move on the Dark One, man. He's like, okay, don't tell them because they're gonna kill you.
Right. It does add this dimension to Rand's conundrum of how he's to deal with Moiraine. I mean, she did say, I will destroy you. Lan's like, you hurt her, sheep hurt her. I mean, there's threats all just being tossed around, everywhere. It's just silly. Why would you necessarily find this to be a trustworthy source?
Yeah. He's in just this paradox of not being able to trust anybody, and that'll drive anybody crazy. So just make you paranoid, and that's exactly what the Dark One would want. Someone,
for real,
and just easily possessed, and I don't know.
So I was wrong. He wakes up, and Tom Marilyn is sawing logs in the room. He's like,
Right.
So he's sweaty and stuff, but he does go back to sleep. But sleep was a long time returning. And
Hey, Dan,
and before he goes to sleep, he tries to. It says he huddled under his blankets, trying to find the calmness of the void, the way Tam had taught him. But sleep was a long. But But sleep was a long time coming. And that's the end of it. That's chapter 14, and then we'll talk about chapter 15 after our little musical break. Is there any other questions about this chapter, Ryan?
Oh, we got plenty to do about this chapter. First off, let me see. I got it. Thanks for the.
Was that the Beatles?
I whistle only hits. I only whistle the hits. All right. Here comes. With Lan and Moraine being extra secretive in Berlon and using fake names, do you trust them more or less?
It definitely plays into them being mistrustful or just being secret agents. I don't know. It's a great question.
That is a good question.
It's a little of both, I guess. I don't know. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
Robert Jordan.
For reals, I know who's okay. Yeah, I'm loving this. Okay, here's another one for this. We're gonna do a little build up, Dan. We're getting an ask for a reenactment. You were able to break your back in an amazing way. We want a reenactment, so I'm gonna give you a little countdown. I'm gonna give you the stage. Get ready.
Ow! Ow, my back! Ow, my ow! 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 Thank you.
Dude, nailed it. Dude, Amazon should come to you and get some pointers.
But guys, I'm okay. It was just a dream.
No, that was amazing. My headcanon was him just screaming a blood curdling, but it really is just him going, ow, ow, ow.
Stop, please. Stop.
Like the Simpsons, ow, quit it.
Buddy,
ow, quit it.
Stop.
Ow, quit.
Oh, man. Oh,
there goes
not
the
again. All right.
Oh, there goes the back. Merely a back wound.
I know a chiropractor you should talk to.
All right, so let's I think that's a good breaking point. Any questions we have don't have to necessarily just be current. We can backtrack if we have to. Here we're going to take our break. This is a 10-minute break. First I want to show you a quick little song. Andrew the Bard did a song in response to Dan and I's appearance on the Black Tower podcast. I made the hefty claim that Dark Friends is a silly term and we should change it for the show. And in that discussion, someone brought up the term Shadow Pals. Shadow Pals instead of Dark Friends. And Andor the Bard himself wrote an amazing song about that. Well, we went around and we remixed it. Our friend Homunculus Rex, who does a lot of our music, he went ahead and gave us a remix. So the first thing you're going to hear is the remix. It's about a 2-minute long song. And then after that, I'm going to put on the ending of a performance my band Homunculus Rex did with a troupe of aerialist dancers. And this was filmed at UC Davis, and it is amazing. So yeah. Enjoy our little musical break. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Awesome. All right.
Hit mute.
Right. Yeah, hit mute. All right, let me know if you could hear it.
Ryan, I can't hear it.
Oh, it's really low.
All right, so you're not hearing that, right?
No, only through yours.
Oh, let me fix that.
Come on, baby. I believe in you, Ryan.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why you do.
Habit.
Is that working?
No. I only hear it through you. I only hear it through your mic.
All right, I know. All right. Figure this out.
Yeah.
All right, I know. All right. Figure this out.
Or maybe just put the mic right up to the speaker.
That's, I guess. Oh, all right. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. It's a cool song. I want to show it. And your thing is awesome too. I really like this. Those aerial people.
Nope. It's not going to work.
Okay. Okay, no sweat.
All right, we'll just take a break. We'll be back, guys.
I'll be just 2 minutes. Do a puppy cameo. Nice.
Are you weak and lacking power? Are you barely paid by the hour? Why don't you join our wholesome group? Instantly be in the loop. Join the Shadow Pals and we will have some fun. We'll hunt some villagers and farm us on the run. Come join the Shadow Pals, I bet you'll rise in rank. Would not be imprisoned, somewhere cold and dank. Join the Shadow Pals. Join the Shadow Pals. Join the Shadow Pals.
Well, I concur with that. Applause. All right. Are y'all geezers ready to go get fight?
Let's do it.
Hi, welcome back. My name's Brother Dan. Below me is Todd. And over past my palm tree is my brother Ryan. Ha!
Uh-oh. The shirt is unbuttoned.
Oh my.
The tie is off.
Be professional, would you? God.
Ta-da! You can hear me now.
Hey.
Ryan, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Really, I'm glad you got that figured out because it was worth the wait.
That was super awesome.
Thank
When
you.
was that?
Thank you. Yeah, there's
When
one.
was that? When
What was that?
performed?
Oh man, maybe 9 years ago. We did that, and yeah, there was 500 people in the audience watching that. That was amazing. That was one of my most fun things I've ever been a part of. Those people are the most talented things I've ever seen. They're all professionals. One of those ladies works for Cirque du Soleil, and
Very
yeah,
cool.
It was really amazing to watch them work.
I don't know. It looked
Yeah.
easy.
Move on to the books.
It looked like I could probably. I think I could learn that. It looked pretty easy, right?
Especially after your back breaking reenactment.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You could totally do that.
I get
Just give me a. So at one point during the rehearsals, someone had knocked the rope had knocked a light that was probably way high up. I'm talking 30 feet in the air, at the very top of those ropes. And the guy goes, "Oh, I'll get it," and he climbs up the rope. And he does this climbing where they use their feet and their hands at the same time, and he scales it real fast, fixes the light, and then proceeds to invert himself and then slide down and then stop himself right before he hit the bottom. And that was his preferred way to get down. It was amazing.
Stage hands.
I know.
They're amazing.
Oh man. Well, thank you again, Ryan. That was awesome. And thanks everyone for hanging out. We're hitting chapter 15 now, which is all these chapters are just getting very, very excellent. And this is another excellent chapter. It's called Strangers and Friends. The icon this time, we have a sun. It looks like a flaming sun.
Yep.
All right, so Rand wakes up. There had been other dreams, but he kind of forgot them because that one last dream took the cake, man. But he had other dreams. He wakes up, all the other beds are empty. He's like, oh man, this is like my only day in the city, and oh shucks. And so he gets dressed real fast. Yeah. There's still warm water by his pitcher. So people have been coming in and out, I guess, kind of making sure that he's dialed in, because the water's still warm. He puts on his sword and then goes down to the common room. Actually, not into the common room. He goes down the stairs into the kitchen, and there's some argument going on. The argument, it seems, is between Master Fitch. Here, boy.
What do you call me?
Harley David, Master Fitch. All right, so Master Fitch is having some sort of discussion with his cook, Sarah, about the cat, Siri. And apparently there was some dead rats. There was about a dozen of them, and he got some complaints and kind of brought it up with the woman who owns the cat. And she's like, well, he's doing his job, man. If you don't like it, fine. You know what? Fine. Here, take my tie. Take it. And he's like, no. Hey, keep your tie. And she's like, take it. But there was about a dozen rats, and Rand hears that they all had their backs broken. Gross. Grody. What are your thoughts about that?
Grody the max. Super grody the max, man. No,
like gag me with a spoon. Oh my God. All right, no, tell me.
What's happening?
I'm so sure. All right, so tell me, what are your thoughts about all these rats with their backs broken?
So it materializes Rand's dream, and it just hits him. He's like, oh my God, those are the rats in my dream. Like, so he's freaked out. He's really like.
Well, and he only saw one rat, but there's over a dozen.
Right.
So was that, do you think that it just kind of wiped out every rat in the vicinity?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Or I will say something, but it comes out later in the chapter.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Well, they find out that, that Matt and Perrin had the dreams too.
Correct. Yes. So Matt and Perrin have the same dream.
So that means like tons of rats were dying.
Well, at least 3. So I don't know if I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened there, but there's a dozen. We know of 3 people that had the dream. It had to have been just those 3. And I'm wondering if it just wiped out every rat in the dang kitchen or something. I'm not sure.
Or like each dream's a show, and he needs like flesh material.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
funny.
magic.
They're props.
Yeah. Go. He's just waiting for his minion to bring in the rat. He's like, oh God, the dream's coming. Hurry up with the rat.
Totally.
So
we got Rand leaving, and our Badger Reborn. He says Rand's got to go buy an "I Love Bearlawn" T-shirt.
Right.
That's what I was looking for, man.
He brings Tam back a mug. He's like, I got you. It says, Bearlawn, it's okay. Not an ounce of thatch. Bearlawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, There was no thatch.
That's amazing, Dan. Not an ounce of thatch. Welcome to Bearlawn.
Bearlawn. At least we're not down country folk. Bearlawn. If Bearlawn wants to hire me for PR, I'm their marketing mojo guru right now. And I'm professional looking. Look at that. All right, so
Totally.
So we hear a little that there's more riffraff down from the mines. We hear that again. It seems like there's the population has been kind of filled up by these people from the hills.
Of the hill people.
Yeah, they're like, oh geez, here come the miners. That's what it seems like. But one little interesting thing is the chef or the cook, Sarah, mentions that why I haven't seen a Gleeman since before the winter. So Gleeman seemed to be coming. It was a big treat for Rand to have a Gleeman during Beltane. I'm not sure if he had ever seen a Gleeman or just heard the term Gleeman Tales. But apparently there's Gleeman in Bearlawn, every season, more or less. If you can travel, there's a Gleeman coming.
The big city.
So that just kind of just shows it's more of a profession. But people do react to Tom pretty well. And Rand goes downstairs and Tom is holding court. And he had mentioned certain stories when he was in the Two Rivers. He was like, oh, I can do this. I can tell this. I can tell this. This story, it seems, well, I'm not even going to point it out. Forget it. But this story, I think, is something that he referenced back in the Two Rivers as one of the stories that he would tell.
And he was talking in plain chant.
Plain chant,
is that
common right? And high chant. Yes. No, he was talking in common, which is, let me see. Yeah. Tom told stories in common, but did not bother to hide his contempt for the voice. So he did tell stories, and it says the common is as if you were just telling a story. But I'm sure that he told pretty awesome stories. I think, if you have plain chant and high chant, you're probably getting more into what do you think? What do you think? What do you think plain chant and high chant is?
High chants for the bourgeois, the bougie people, I think.
The bouge. What like with silk ties? Come on, knock it off. And ferns? Yeah. And ferns that won't die?
And really bushy eyebrows.
Well, hey, come on. Come on.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. So I'm thinking like sonnets or like Shakespearean is one of these chants. I'm not, when you have like a sonnet style prose, that to me is probably high chant is what I'm picturing. I'm not sure what everyone else does, but
I'm having a hard time picturing. Can you give me an example, Dan?
Yeah.
Where art thou? Where art thou, brother Dan? No.
All right. Here's your inner Tom.
When villagers of thrice and maidens be must flee the land from which their parents be.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all.
Hey, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, everybody.
I can
do off the cuff.
Hold on, but I think plain chant is freestyle rap.
Oh
no! I'm just kidding.
Spitfire.
Here's a little
Spitfire.
Why do I step in sand and
you just say it? What you say, you have to go. All right, Dan, Gleeman, go.
I don't like comment. I don't like hi. I only want to talk in common chant. This is the chant. It is my rap. This is what I want to do. And my rights and our feet. You ever hear the story about the good wife whose husband just wouldn't stop snoring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most famous one of all history.
And
Up there.
scene.
And scene. I was trying to figure out what rhymes with snoring. Boring, but I want to do that too.
All right. So, yeah. I can come up with. So Rand goes back upstairs, talks to Perrin. Perrin isn't feeling well. Perrin had the same dream. We heard that Perrin has a dream. He's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm just gonna lay down for another hour or two. That sucked. I couldn't. This is the worst." He's like, Rand's like, "What?" He's like, "The city, bro." Yeah, go ahead. Yep. The city's there. Yep.
He's
like,
totally hungover. Just
yeah, kind of bad nightmare hangover, and who knows? Maybe you just had a headache that he didn't say, and we can all appreciate that, right, guys? We have all had a headache. Totally. So, but he did find out that they had the same dream. He killed a rat, and they both decided, yeah, let's not tell Moraine about this right now. But they want to talk to Tom, but Tom's busy just holding court, doing his common chant over there.
Which, okay, so damn, we got to go back to this. We're getting threatened. If we don't get a Tom freestyle rap, we're going to burn it all down. Just put that in your pipe and smoke it, Dan.
Okay. Gather around, people, and if you can hear, I'll tell you the story about the Horn of Valir.
Go! Yeah!
Old people, young people, runts. They all try to join on the hunt. I thought you were gonna. All right, no, we're good. All right. They come from far and wide, near and far. They want to see what they can. What the bad guy in Lion King's name is Scar.
Where's the beat, Todd?
All right.
Sorry,
epic fail. You're doing the beat. Oh,
a drummer has
I know.
one job.
One job.
One job. I failed it.
Words and melody, and you just have to sit there, go boom, 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 boom.
All right. Hey, you're forgiven.
I had technical difficulties. No.
Hey, Todd, you're my favorite drummer, regardless.
Thank you.
All right, so Rand goes downstairs. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go outside. But it was like the city is just crazy. He gets a little overwhelmed. He's not feeling that great. He decides to just kind of sit on a barrel outside of the inn. This dude Much is giving him the stink eye. He's like, come on, Much. Why do you care so much?
I know. I was like, wait, how do you pronounce that name? I was like, is it Mooch or Much? Or like
Mooch. I like how Rand says they're all strangers, he thought. None of them know each other as they're bustling around. And this is entirely different than anything he's known. He knows everyone.
Right.
He knows everyone's history. He knows everything.
He starts comparing people to like the two rivers, right?
Right. But he's noticing just how crazy it is at first. The smells are crazy. It says sharp and sour and sweet, all mixed in a hodgepodge that had him rubbing his nose. Which is, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Welcome to the world, Rand. There's crazy smells out here. He's rubbing his nose from it. But so he's sitting out there. And then he gets a visitor from the aforemet men. She comments first on his hair mark blade. This is the second person who has introduced a conversation by commenting on his blade. Nice blade, bro.
Nice blade, dude.
Nice blade, Shepard. What trouble are you in, down country boy? Purr. And he's like, oh no, nothing. We're just if it doesn't involve a sheep, then it doesn't involve me. Oh, yuck.
Just poor country folk. Just no.
Oh gosh, is there still straw in my hair? I'm so. And she's like, you're Rand, aren't you? And he's like, ah, dang it. Yeah. She starts dropping knowledge. She drops that she knows Lady Alice's real name, Moiraine. Rand's like, bro, what gives? And she's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I know. I talk to people like her. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. And she's like, yeah, she told me about her, but she didn't really have a choice. I see things. And then she starts describing some weird stuff about her. Why don't you tell me describe what you think is going on with Min?
Okay, she is fascinating. I mean, okay, Moiraine thinks that she's a seer of pieces of the pattern. That blew me away. I was just like, cool. So they're like, she's like a seer. I don't know what they're called. I guess it'll come up later. And then I just think it's amazing. And she goes into what she sees as they're all together, which is fascinating. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
It describes sparks swirling around you, thousands of them, and a big shadow darker than midnight. It's so strong. I almost wonder why everybody can't see it. The sparks are trying to fill the shadow, and the shadow is trying to swallow the sparks.
That, I was like, wait, what? It's so just paradoxical, you know, and such an amazing image, and just explains, you know, I guess their adventure and what they're facing. It's like,
right.
Mind blowing.
Do you believe Min? Do you believe Min?
Well, there we go again. I don't know. I'm like,
there we go.
Like I said, it's like I'm as paranoid as Rand. I don't know what's fact, what's fiction. Like, I think there is some truth in her abilities. She sees things. I mean, we could go into that. She lays down each character. Like,
right. So, all right. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's go viewing by viewing. So Rand kind of interrogates her and says, well, what do you see? And she's being coy. She knows that he wants to know about himself, but, you know, she's like, well, all sorts of things. With a grin as if she knew what he really wanted to ask. So she says, and I'll just kind of go through them and you tell me if anything jumps out at you or anything. All right. So for Lan, has 7 ruined towers around his head and a babe in a cradle holding a sword. And that's it. But she says men like him. You understand. Men like him. You know.
Yeah.
They always have so many images. So, but those are the 2 that she mentioned. Any thought?
I have no idea. Like,
oh, okay.
I mean, babe in cradle holding a sword. That, I mean, I just thought of Rand, like how he was, you know, found as a baby, you know, back a couple chapters.
Yeah.
Tam and his fever dream. So I thought about that. I was like, oh my gosh, is Lan like somehow connected to that? I was like, oh my gosh. So and the 7 ruined towers around his head, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, fair. Good. All right, let's move on. Let me see. All right, so we have next.
You should explain Egwene.
Yep.
That was really interesting, what she sees between Egwene and Rand.
Oh, very good. Yes. So, yeah, that they love each other, but they're not for each other the way that they think they are, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But
not the way they both. Yeah. It's so interesting. Oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, and she sees the same in Egwene as she does in Moraine. So
Correct.
I guess that means she has Aes Sedai capabilities. That's what I took that as.
And she says, but I know what that means. She won't refuse it.
Ah, right.
So,
What do you
okay.
Refuse what?
Refuse the acceptance of the power, or I don't know.
Okay. These are tough. So I don't know is a very, very fair response, but I appreciate you thinking about these. We'll go on to Tom Maryland. Tom Maryland, she sees juggling fire and the White Tower, and that doesn't make any sense at all for a man.
Yeah, that was
Anything?
definitely the White Tower. I mean, he's probably paranoid of it. Just like he's very suspicious of Aes Sedai, the ambulance seat. So that's always kind of like like in his, back of his mind. That's how I took that. And then, but a man juggling fire, but it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. I don't know what that's about.
Okay. And Min, to be fair, Min doesn't know what any of this is about either. She's just seeing images and retelling what she sees.
That's right. Yeah, she says like sometimes I can figure it out, sometimes I don't know like what
right.
It's about.
So
love this Min.
Right. So the big curly-haired fellow we assume is Perrin, correct? We see a wolf, a broken crown, and trees flowering all around him. Oh my gosh. Oh. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Well turned.
Yeah. Oh, Todd. Yeah. So this is the bath scene. Parent taking the shirt off.
Oh, that's profane. That is profane. Don't put that. Right. Do not put that in Todd's face.
Put that right in your face.
No, do not put that in Todd's face. That's rude. Oh my gosh.
We're so suggestive.
Oh my god.
This is less suggestive.
Yeah. All right.
Just so suggestive. Right. I thought this was a family show.
Oh my gosh. Meltdown.
They're asking for calves. We're asking for calves.
Oh yeah, there we go.
They're asking for some well-turned calves. Look at that.
Are you not satisfied?
Wait, you got to lift up the pant leg.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you just watch your mouth, would you? God.
Todd would show his calves, but he's lost his legs in a tragic bus crossing.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
There's not much down there.
That's not funny. Just kidding. Where's your knees, buddy? I got one. Look at this. Look at this calf.
Fine.
Oh.
All right. Back to the meta at hand. So we see a wolf, a broken crown, and trees flowering all around him. Thoughts?
Broken crown. I guess he's.
Wait, who are we? This is
Perrin. Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
Come on.
So this is Perrin.
It's really right in his face.
I didn't mean it. I didn't realize.
It's literally in my face. No.
Well, last
subscribe, everybody. This is quality content like this.
Well, no. Well, last week you had Lauren's face, and you're like, "That's Perrin." I'm like, "No, that's Lauren." You're like, "Oh, sorry."
Man. We need more funding.
All right, let's move on then. So no thoughts. Perrin, wolf, broken crown, trees falling all around.
He's probably he's like a false dragon.
Ooh.
Broken crown.
Oh,
okay. Interesting. Okay.
Or it means he's not the one. He's not a dragon. He's not like a dragon reborn or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Okay. For the other one, we assume is Matt. A red eagle, an eye on a balance scale, a dagger with a ruby, a horn, and a laughing face.
It just sums up Matt so well, I think.
It just,
It's
what's
like
that?
his horoscope. It's like his sign.
Okay.
I don't know. It just sums them up. Just laughing face. But I like the eye on a balance scale. It's really interesting because he does sum things
think
up.
about that.
He sums. I don't know. So far in the story, it seems like he really kind of sums things up. You know, I don't know. So far, that's what I'm getting from him.
Okay. And finally, we'll go to Rand, shall we?
Yes, please do.
She says, quote, "The same kind of things as the rest. A sword that isn't a sword, a golden crown of laurel leaves, a beggar's staff, you pouring water on sand, a bloody hand and a white hot iron, 3 women standing over a funeral pyre with you in it, black rock wet with blood." And then he's like, "All right, thanks for nothing. Knock it off." So,
and she says, "You and I will meet again."
she says, "Yeah, most of all, I see lightning around you. Some striking out you, some coming out of you. I don't know what any of that means, except for one thing: you and I will meet again." Which I'm not sure how she interprets that lightning, but shrug. She knows. Men. #men knows.
Sword that isn't a sword is really interesting.
All right, go on.
Because I don't know, because they've been building Rand up as like this, he has the Heron blade. He might be from, like a master swordsman, but I don't know. Now he's a sword that isn't a sword. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a golden crown of laurel leaves. Do you know a laurel that's like flower or like a leaf? It's like a vine, I think.
Yeah, wasn't that in his first dream?
What? Oh,
crown of laurel leaves. At one point, I can't remember. That sounded familiar.
Oh, crazy. Okay, you don't have to.
I don't know.
Well, we did see leather leaf. Maybe I don't remember seeing laurel leaves, to be honest.
We saw a hen pee.
Someone will
did you see a hen
that.
poop? All right, I'm sorry. All right.
Oh,
Compose.
Why?
All right, no, for me.
Okay.
All right,
the
3
flame
women.
in the void.
3 women standing over a funeral pyre with you on it.
Oh man, that's so. Makes me sad. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so does that mean he's foreshadowed, to die? I don't know.
Okay.
3 women standing over. Then I was thinking, 3 women. It's like Moraine. I don't know. And then Egwene. I don't know. A lot of things passed through my mind on that one.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say about her viewings?
That's about it. I mean, it's so intriguing, her character, what she is, and if she's true or false, or if she's misleading.
All right, say it right now. What are we, good or bad? What's your gut? What's your gut telling you, good or bad?
I think both.
Okay.
One of those gray characters,
like Moraine, like how you feel about Moraine.
Pretty much.
Okay.
You just don't know her intentions. You don't know if she's like misreading these images.
Well, plus she's kind of a creep. I mean, she walks up and Rand's like clearly uncomfortable, wants to. He's like, okay. Rand. Oh, someone's calling me. I gotta go. And she's like, you can't get away from me.
Oh, right.
Go then, but you won't escape. Run if you want. She called after him. You can't escape from me. What a
Rand.
What a creep.
What a creep. And Rand, mentions that Balsamon says that at the end of the dream, right?
Right.
He's like equally freaked out.
That's
from this,
very cool.
This little hipster mind reader seer. I don't know.
So he bolts. He starts looking at the city, comparing it to the Emmons Field. Emmons Field, none of the roads are paved. Here, most of them are. And it says, quote, there certainly were no palaces, and only a few houses were very much bigger than those back home. But every house had a roof of slate or tile as fine as the roof of the Wine Spring Inn. Progress.
No thatch.
Senbui is out of a job here, buddy. He sees 9 inns, none smaller than the Wine Spring, but some bigger, and most as large as the Stag and Lion. And he had only just seen not even the whole town or city. He was just walking around. So he's kind of blown away by the size of it all, the scope. He's able to kind of tell what the miners look like, I guess. He sees everyone is kind of dressed really nice, nicer than Two Rivers folk by far. And then he starts comparing people. He's like, look at that toothless gray hair dude looks just like Billy Conger's his cousin. And that looks like Thane's brother. And that looks like, holy cow, that is Pat and Thane.
Pat and Thane.
Old buddy.
He's back.
And he is not looking good. He had a rough week or so. It said the man's eyes were sunken and his dirty face gaunt, as if he had not eaten or slept in days. He was ragged. He sees Pat and Thane, and there's just kind of a weird little interaction with him. Tell me what you what you thought when you saw Pat and Thane, and about this little conversation he has with Rand.
Well, first off, I was stoked just to have Pat and Thane come back because I knew he would be back.
You called that.
I knew
you did call that, over. Yeah.
I knew that character wasn't over. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, he's all in rags and he I don't know. Oh, he tries to run from them too at first, and kind of like runs him into an alleyway to a dead end so he can confront him. And
and he's like, I thought the Trollocs had, and Thane's like, don't say the T word.
Oh yeah. Just everybody's like so paranoid.
And then he mentions that there's white cloaks in town. So he thought he's like, dead. The peddler snapped indignantly. Not Pat and Thane. Pat and Thane knows which way to jump and where to land. Very
cool.
Talking in the third person like that is very cool. Is that what Todd does? Brother Dan doesn't do that. Oh, dang it. All right. That was a joke. All right.
I'm going to start talking in the third person.
We got a question in the chat. What do you think happened with Pat and Thane on Winter Night? How did he keep up with them if he didn't have a horse?
Correct.
Yes.
All his horses we hear are back at the inn. It's all safe and sound. Rand's like, go on back. Go back. Get your horses, bro.
Yeah, the mayor got him.
But Pat and Thane is there without a horse, and we saw just how hard of a ride they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about that.
Well, he does say his shoes are worn out from walking or something, or running here. And if we're running all the time, he did say he was running and his shoes were worn out. Are we implying that he just ran to Fairlawn?
Just booked But
Yeah. I think.
What's that line about something about eating? I remember something ominous about like the things he had to eat or something like that.
I don't know about here.
oh yeah, he doesn't even want to like talk about it or something, right?
Yeah, it was almost like it almost hinted that he had to do some gruesome things just to eat and survive. And then he's like, I don't want to see it, but he was like, and he was saying he's so hungry, but he does not want to see the Ace of Dice.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. He said, "You just don't know." Fane whined, standing there with a full belly and a good night's sleep in a soft bed. I've hardly slept a wink since that night. My boots are all worn out with running, and as for what I've had to eat, his face twisted.
Does that mean he didn't eat anything, or is he saying I ate weird stuff?
Maybe he ate some Trolloc. No.
Ew, gross.
Yeah.
Slimy yet satisfying. Lion King reference. That's why you people are watching.
He's like, my stomach's full of narg. I'm running. He becomes Forrest Gump. He eats a little narg and becomes Forrest Gump and runs all the way to Bearlawn. I'm buying it.
Yeah. Run, Patton, run.
Patton, why are you here? I felt like running.
All right, well,
Thank you.
MK Genest, she ate dog poop. All right.
He ate dog
poop. It's very specific. Very specific.
Some good protein there, probably. Some good stuff for your gut. Some good gut bacteria.
Oh, yeah, like a
poop.
fecal transplant, like fecal transplant stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe that's what he did. He just. Well, never mind. This is all right. Back to the story.
He's like, my stomach flora. I'm really concerned about my flora.
He's like, dog poop, perfect.
This is science, guys. Science. Let's go. Moving on.
Activia. It's dog poop. All right, so Fane kind of gets Rand to promise that he would not tell Moraine that he was there. He's all, "You won't forget my promise, right?" And then he's like, "Oh, so you're at the Stag and Lion," and just takes off.
Yep.
And Rand's like, "Well, what the heck was that?" Starts to go after him. Boom! Knocks into the dirt his friend Matt Catherine.
I think we just answered the question. How did he get there? He just showed his skills. He's like, he's just a big runner.
He's quick.
He's spry. He's super spry.
Totally.
And Matt's like, "You'll never guess who I just saw. It was Patton Fane." What?
Look at that. It's Fane is secretly Sonic the Hedgehog.
He just
gets in a ball and roll.
He just starts spinning. Yeah.
Totally.
All right. So he talks to Matt. He talks about, hey, you had that crazy dream too. Perrin did. There were dead rats everywhere. What the heck's going on? Their backs were broken. Matt's like, "Oh, that's creepy." They're like, "I'm not going to talk to Moraine. We're going to talk to Tom. Tom's our boy. He's my mentor. He's my big brother I never had. My old big brother." Because they seen Maureen, they got threatened, and he even said, "Dude, do you remember the fairy? That's some wicked power." That it was straight out magic that they saw her do on the fairy. And he's like, "Yeah, you saw the fairy. Let's not tell her." Rand's like, "Yeah, I don't feel well. I think I have a cold." And did you have any reaction as far as like how Perrin was sleeping in or Rand not feeling well at all right now, or any of that stuff?
Yeah, at first I didn't, but like just later on in the story, I mean, in this chapter, it starts kind of making sense that he starts entering these like states. I don't know what the states are, but they kind of like possess him, and he becomes, kind of like going back to Narg when he, took out Narg, and like he just enters like these warrior like I don't know, states, or he's being possessed by Balsamon, maybe. I don't know. There's so many things I was thinking when I read that. Or when he starts talking about, you know, his head as tight as a drum and almost as empty. Like,
Right. And he said he was having a hard time for concentrating.
Right.
Yeah, he's starting to get kind of weeded out. He's like, I don't know what, I'm not feeling very well, bro.
Yeah.
They see 3 dudes in like conical hats wearing pretty white cloaks walking down the street. And it does answer your question whether they are armed or not. They do have swords. Their hands rest on their sword hilts.
And we're meet. Ta-da!
Da-da-da!
We meet our first white cloak.
We do meet a white cloak. And you know what? I was thinking I don't see any horses around. There's just people all walking around. So the stables probably have like Mandarb and Aldib and Storm and Bella.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was wondering if you were gonna do a 2 Bella Meta.
Nope, none this week.
Okay. I you know what? I all I do is set, and that's all I do. All right. So they assume that these are the children of the light. And they hear that they burn farms and stuff. We also heard that earlier Master Fitch was like, yeah, some old woman shouldn't have to get hurt in order for the children to be happy or something. So we see that they're not like a peaceful, positive force, and people are kind of like wary of them. But Matt is like, look at these guys. They're like that conger. He always has his nose up in the air. He's like, watch this. And he like bolts off, goes into the shop, and Rand's just kind of sitting there like, okay, cool. And then he sees Rand like up on top of the roof. And it's Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. Matt's on top of the roof. And he's got his sling. And he's like, bam. Right as the white cloaks are walking by, he hits this stave that's holding up these barrels. Barrels fall. They jump out of the way, but mud splashes all over. Hilarity, right? Except for these are
all over their white cloaks.
Yeah. But these are like violent thug mobsters walking down the road. And Rand's like typical Matt, but he's just starts laughing. He's like, God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious, Matt. Matt, you're the best. God, did you guys see that? Oh my God, that's so funny. You got mud all over you. Look, and these guys are not stoked. They're like, huh, look at this jerk. And so they walk over to him. They're like, maybe you're responsible for this. Are you a dark friend? Kind of thing. And Rand starts getting cocky. He like throws back his cloak and is like,
shows off that hair and blade.
Accidents happen, bro. I don't know. Even to like children.
I don't know. He's like, I don't know. You tell me. Like,
yeah. He's like, I don't know, but accidents. I mean, it even happened to jerks like you. And they're like, huh, look at this dude. Look at this. We hear one of their names is Lord Bornhold.
Yeah.
Because his friends warn him that, whoa, look at that. It's a heron marked blade, bro. And Bornhold's all like, dude, he's too young. Are you? He's like,
I'm not buying that. Yeah.
And Rand's just like, yeah, I just arrived in Bear Lawn. You guys know a good place to stay. I'm just looking for some action, man, And they're like, what is this guy doing? You're avoiding my questions. You must be like an evil dark spawn jerk. And this is
gray-eyed bumpkin.
You gray-eyed bumpkin. And guess what? Evil spawn jerks are right up my alley. And they start like taking their swords out a little bit. Yeah, and they said when we ask questions, we expect answers. But then suddenly the fuzz showed up, the watch. It's about a dozen dudes with quarterstaffs.
So they break it up, yeah.
Which a quarterstaff is like 2.5 times bigger than a dime staff. Thank you.
Dime staff, huh?
Dime staff, yeah.
Dime staff. Okay. Not a nickel staff. Dime staff.
So Bornhold gives him a warning. It says, "Dark friends, do not escape us, youngling, even in a town that stands in the shadow. We will meet again. You may be sure of it." And Rand's like, shh. He was tingling. He had this tingle. Said it was so strong. And it happened twice on the same page. The
Bursting
tingle
with it.
filled Rand. The heat had grown to a fever. He wanted to laugh. It felt so good. And then later, when they walk away, the tingle was so strong that he almost quivered. He felt as if he were burning up. And Matt walks up and is like, "Bro, that's nuts. What are you doing? This is," and Rand kind of like shakes and is like, yeah, let's go back to the end. I was crazy. They're going back. They get lost a couple times, but they're going. They run into Tom Maryland, and Tom Maryland is OG, just self-promote, man. He's walking around with his cloak. He's like, "Hey, gleaming." He's like, "I'm at the Stag and Lion tonight only.
Get it well.
Come and see." And he's just walking through town, kind of self-promoting, which is cool. He's working. But they start telling Tom about the dream. They start telling him, and Tom pretty much like takes them so seriously that he stops all his promotion and is like, this is pretty serious.
Let's get into this alleyway. I gotta talk to you.
But yeah. And then they start mentioning the names that they had heard Baalzamon say, Guarer Amalasan, Rowland Darksbane, Devin, and then Urian Strongbow and Logain. And they're like, talking over each other with these names. And they were all pretty dangerous names. Logain's the only one that's alive. Tom describes them as men who shook the pillars of heaven and rocked the world on its foundation.
I love that quote. That was
yes.
one of the quotes I wrote down. Awesome.
Ooh, nice.
Which now we have someone named Logain in that company being described that way, who's alive right now.
Correct.
Interesting.
They ask about the Eye of the World to Tom, and Tom mentions it as a legend, maybe as big a legend as the Horn of Valir, at least in the Borderlands. Up there, young men go hunting the Eye of the World the way young men from Ilion hunt the Horn. Maybe a legend. So Tom. So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, just another point where the Eye of the World is just brought up as being something like something you could harness or something you could find and have it serve you, I guess. I don't know. I forget what the Horn of Valir is all about.
Yeah, we haven't really. We heard that it was a story that Tom had in his arsenal,
right?
And it looks like he may have been telling some of that story in the common room when Rand walked up.
But
as of now, it's just a story or a legend, or
It makes me think of like say the Last Crusade, or like the hunt for the the last, or what do you call that? The chalice that what do they call that?
The Holy Grail?
The Holy Grail. Thank you. It's kind of like that, or like like Xanadu with the Fountain of Youth and stuff like that. He's making it sound kind of like that it is just legend. Maybe it's just this thing that people hunt for. That was kind of interesting. When Tom brought it up like that, it made me think that maybe it isn't like an actual thing. It's just like an idea that people go off and die for, or die trying to find.
Like Atlantis, or like the Ark of the Covenant, or something like that.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
When Tom brought it up like that, when Tom brought it up like that, it just made me think, okay, maybe it is like just a metaphor. Just a legend. I don't know.
So,
I can't wait to find out.
Yeah. So they talk to Tom. They're like, well, what should we do? Tom's like, I'd say don't say a word. You can always decide to, but once the cat's out of the bag, it's hard to put that thing back in. So they decide that they're not going to say anything. But Tom's like, well, where's the dude with the shoulders? He knows too, right? Did he tell anyone? And they're like, I don't know. They start like kind of booking, not running, but Tom's just ignoring everyone. He's like, leave me. He's
Tom
like, yeah,
gets freaked out. Yeah.
He's like, we got to find this guy. They see parents just walking out of the inn right then, and they walk into him, and they're like, say you didn't tell anyone, did you? Had the dream. Parents like, oh yeah, no, I didn't say anything, but guess what? Nynaeve's here, boys.
Dun dun dun.
Oh.
Ooh, angry Nynaeve.
Is there any other way?
Look out, boys.
Dun dun dun. All right, yeah.
We hear that she broken fairy be darned. She still had Master Hightower take her across the Terran. And she is there. She's talking with Mr. Salas right there. And it's, quote, cold enough in there to snow.
Yikes.
So, yeah, tell me. So what were your thoughts as soon as you heard that Nynaeve had shown up? The braid.
Yeah, I don't know what to make out of it. She's upset about something, or maybe concerned for Brand and Perrin and Matt. I don't know. It's like, it just adds so much more to it. The possibilities of why she's wants to be a part of it. Or,
how did she find him? How do you think she found him?
Used her wisdom powers. I don't know. Do they have like powers like that? I haven't really I haven't looked up the wisdom. Maybe I should go in the glossary and check that out. But she used her powers, yeah. Or they just, I don't know. You tell me.
Okay.
I guess you can't tell me.
I don't know. You tell me, bro. That's not how this works, Todd.
I know.
All right. No, these are all fair. I think you're doing great. These aren't easy questions to have to be grilled with. I think you're awesome. I'm gonna give you a hug. There you go. There you go. We give you a hug. Okay. Thank.
But it's her powers, I think. Her powers. Wisdom powers.
So, yeah. Tom's like, they're like, all right, we should go find somewhere else to go, man. This sucks. And Tom's like, yeah, do you think that's going to stop her? Just go face the music. And so it says that brought them all up short. They exchanged glances, drew deep breaths, and marched inside as if to face Trollocs.
End scene. Yeah.
And that's not only end scene and chapter. That's the end of chapter 15. It's page 226. And we have chapter 16, the wisdom next time. We'll have chapter 16 and 17, but it begins on 227 for those reading along.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Great job, Dan. Now
Thank
let's
you.
get to some questions. Do we have time for a couple questions, Todd? How you
yeah.
doing? All right.
Yeah, I got like 5 minutes or so.
All right, let's bust them out then. These are Discord questions. Irish Bear says, can the Aes Sedai be trusted?
A fine question. And it seems to be the theme of the story so far.
Right.
I don't know. They're gray. They have a grayness about them. You don't know their intent. They use your interest and what you want against you or to make choices for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think it's a little of both. You got to be careful with them. And it's never too late to be careful, as Rand says.
Yeah, you're right. He did say that. All right, we got a couple more.
You're doing awesome, Todd.
Thank you.
All right, so this is we saw this before. Do you believe men's viewings? We're gonna put you on the record. Yes or no? Do you believe him?
Yeah, we kind of talked about this earlier. I think she is possibly true, mostly true. I believe most of it, but she might be viewing him or seeing it wrong or taking it wrong. Who knows? Or you don't know if she's even telling everything that she's seeing.
Okay, yeah. And to that end, the next question is: should the boys trust her?
Should they trust men?
Yeah.
She, at this point, I think it's a little too dangerous. They gotta get more time with men. It's like, men, what bands are you into? Like, what are your views on climate change? Like,
Men, those Doc Martens are pretty sweet, but they're kind of aggressive as well.
All right.
yeah.
Iris is still asking more questions. Should they be trusting Tom? Put you on the record.
That's a great question.
Putting you on the record.
Same. I think it's the same, at this point in the story for me, and what I'm just like being in Rand's position, which it seems to be Rand is like I think you were talking about that, Ryan, right?
Say again, Rand is the what?
You cut out. See every. He's like the third person omniscient in the story. Everything so far in this book has been through Rand's eyes, except for Dragonmouth.
Yeah, the unreliable. Yeah, it's not omniscient is different. Yeah, it's like the unreliable narrator.
But it has been his point of view, correct?
Yeah.
So like during this whole story, it's just through Rand's eyes. So and I'm just living what Rand is living. And he's paranoid. He's becoming paranoid and can't really trust anybody.
No, that's funny. Yeah, the question is: should they trust anyone right now? And that's the question.
So I don't know. They got to be careful. They got to I think Tom might have some good intent, but he might have some nefarious underpinnings too.
Well, we have from Rand where he is being careful, but his girlfriend, fiance, who is younger than he is all in. She's making no qualms about jumping in with both feet. She's like, braid? What right. Braid? Wham! Braid's gone. I'm being an Aes Sedai, baby. And so
actually, let me tell you something real quick. To that point, I noticed that in one of the chapters of last week, Egwene starts to recite that kind of weird kind of prayer that they have about the Dark One being sealed, and she specifically does not remember the ending, but she felt solace in the little that she did remember. And I wondered if that's significant. Because it's just a little point. Like Egwene has these she just kind of thinks differently, and I thought was a very interesting point that she did not remember the end of that recitation.
We should probably talk about this in a spoiler session because I have thoughts.
We will.
Man, so wait, she says this that's brought up in the previous chapters? I can't remember. Okay. Damn it. I missed that.
Yeah, I can't remember reading that as well. So this is why we do this, man. Can't remember every word. Heck. Unless some of these people on Discord remember so much though. Oh my gosh.
What do you think of the White Cloaks?
Yes. So before this chapter, I was actually imagining like knights, like kind of like Last Crusade knights.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about it actually. They have like suns on their cloaks or something like that.
Correct. Yes. They have on their shoulder patch, I believe, they have an ablaze sun. Yeah. And that's what the icon for this chapter was as well, was a sun.
But I think they're like, they're a bad bunch. You don't want to get tangled in, and they're kind of like stormtroopers or like Nazis, in my opinion. They just kind of follow like, they follow like a moral and a order to the death, just with no questions asked. So they're bad news, I think.
I have a question real fast. So Matt, it says when he goes and does his little prank with the White Cloaks, he quote darted into a cutler's shop. What is a cutler?
Oh, cutler. Is that like a butcher?
I don't know. I
thought someone who maybe makes the knives.
Cutlery. Oh, snap. Yeah, you could be right. Okay. Okay. Good one. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. All right, here's another question. They're coming in. You just tell me how you're doing on time, Todd. How does a dream break the backs of all the rats? And what do you think happened there?
That goes back to what we were saying too. I think Balsamon needs actual props, like real material props, or that's like how immense his power is, that it actually comes into the real world from the dream state.
Well, let's stick with that props scenario. So was the wine goblet then a real prop, or was it dream figment, whatever?
Very good question. Dang, I don't know. I didn't think about that.
Okay, yeah, no sweat.
Maybe it's there. Maybe it's at the Stag and the Lion. Just like
what if
some like vintage of wine that he stole.
Oh my gosh, what if like every rat got their back broken in the entire city?
Dang. I would imagine someone would mention it somewhere in the city when he's walking around. My guess is that someone would be like, "Hey, what's up with all these rats?"
That would be cool though. If Rand saw like dead rats in the street, that would be like,
Well, they talk with this weird slurry accent, like a mushy accent or something. How's it described?
Like mush. Yeah.
I wonder what these sound like.
Mushy.
What is a mushy accent? Like Scottish, like
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, I would say Sean Connery's got a mush mouth.
I blew it. The last time I had my last dog, I had Sean Connery train him to sit. And
wait, what?
I had him train my dog to sit, but the way that Sean Connery says that, it didn't work out so well. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. Do you get it? You get it?
Dude, I was like, wait.
Your puppy shit for me, puppy.
I was wait, I was like, Sean Connery?
Good boy, shit.
Sean, you're in my house. Don't tell your dog to do it on my floor. My gosh.
Well, Sean Connery, like smacked his wife on camera or some crap.
What?
Yeah. All right. Maybe we should do this here. But yeah, Sean Connery's not the best guy in the world.
Well, then F his mushy mouth. I'll punch him in the mushy mouth. F
All
you,
right.
Sean. F you. Punch a freaking girl. Mush your mouth.
All right.
back.
All right.
Oh, mush it all out.
I'll mush your mouth.
Sorry.
More questions. Bring on your
could do
Sean
like-
Connery questions.
Maybe one. I can do one more, dude. I
Okay.
gotta-
All right.
wait.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that.
Okay, no, I think that's it. We're
All right.
good.
Beautiful.
We are
Guys.
good. Anything in the
Awesome.
chat. We are going to be winding down, but if you throw in something great, I will pop it up. But this has been a great 2 hours and 6 minutes. I can't believe you guys stay with us. Thank you so much. This has been
Awesome.
we are going to come back next week with another 2 chapters. And this is just progressing right along. We're having a great time.
Correct. The next 2 chapters are chapter 16, the wisdom, and chapter 17, watchers and hunters.
Yeah. Yep. It's just getting better and better and better. This is so much fun, everybody.
Oh,
As
yeah.
we say goodbye, I am Ryan. This has been my brother Dan. This is our first time reader, Todd. We are The Way the Leaf. This is our first time reader show that we are putting on. Everyone, thank you so much. We will
Thank
see
you.
you in Discord.
Bye, guys.
All
We'll see you
right.
next
Bye.
week, man. Mwah.
Get back to reading there, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm on it.
keep reading, you filthy animal.